That's how you roll.
I mean, look, I feel like, especially in high leverage situations like the postseason, for example, we explain it on every show I do, whether it's this one or KBN or watch-alongs, or if I'm filling in on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, I'm filling in on the Homer Hour tonight, I'll probably mention this. I just, if anybody's new to Alex Strofe, if anybody has never listened to me before, I feel like it's important for me to explain how I'm wired. I am a roller coaster of a sports fan. A bleeping roller coaster. Emotional roller coaster. Mental roller coaster. Joshy got to see it up close and personal in Game 3 when we did the watch-along of Potawatomi. First inning, I felt awful. Second inning, I was better. Third inning, I was great, despite nothing changing in terms of the score. It's like, yeah, I'm along for the ride. So, yeah, I'm an emotional dude, but, like, I live and die by my sports fandom. I live and die by my sports teams. That's the beauty of sports fandom. I love the fact that I get to have my heart broken over and over and over again, but that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt any less. Or it does hurt any less. It hurts still. Losing 2 in a row to the Cubs to even the series up hurts. I'm in pain. I had trouble sleeping last night. That's why I didn't come into work until 11 o'clock this morning. I didn't fall asleep until like 4. I was upset. And maybe it's an indication of the human being I am, and maybe it's a problem. How much I bleep and care. But I care a lot about my sports teams. And unfortunately, what comes along with that territory is they play way too big of a role on my emotions and my mental wherewithal. So, yeah, today I'm a little bit in the dumps. We're going to flip that at some point because I do have something on the rundown today that says positivity. When we wrap up our Brewers conversation today, we're going to end on a high note. But right now I'm low as we go into Game 5. There's a couple reasons for that. Number one is the bats just aren't batting. 3 hits in Game 4 is not going to win you baseball games. It's just not. You can't only get 3 hits and expect to win. That's problematic. The other part that's keeping me up, I thought about this all night. Who the hell's pitching tomorrow? I know we're going to see Mizorowski at some point. I in fact, when I say no, I feel very confident that we're going to see Mizorowski at some point. But is it going to be Priester to open? Is it going to be Quintana to open? Is there a possibility of another Aaron Ashby appearance? Is there a possibility of Chad Patrick? And obviously, he pitched last night and ate some innings last night, so I don't know that we see him in Game 5. But I truly don't know what direction Pat Murphy's going to go. But I think the part that kept me awake is I don't know that Pat Murphy knows what direction Pat Murphy is going to go. And that's where I go, I'm feeling a little dumpy here on a Friday early afternoon. I'll be back up by Saturday night. I'll be back up by the end of this program. But right now, as it stands, I'm down in the dumps. Go ahead, Joshy.
I mean, I don't have anything to add. You are on the precipice of blowing a 2-0 lead, of being 1 game away from advancing, and having the opportunity in front of you now, or it's do or die, win or go home. This makes me feel nervous. It makes me feel anxious. It doesn't make me feel comfortable, but I'm not reserved to feeling bad about it or myself or my fandom. I think there can be time for that, and that's depending on the result of what happens. But you believe in Pat Murphy as we have for the past 2 seasons. You believe in the talent of the guys there. The playoffs are the playoffs. This is what happens. I believe Christian Yelich himself has said you're going to go through some adversity in the playoffs.
You are.
You're going to have some situations where you feel the pressure and the moment gets really big and you have to battle back and be the best you. I've seen no indication, no reason why I would think the Brewers... How many times did the Brewers lose 3 games this season?
Not a lot.
In a row.
Not many.
Yeah. If at all. That's how good they were. Was it... I can think of a sweep that happened against the Yankees.
At the beginning of the season, they lost 4 in a row. They lost 3 in a row in mid-April to Arizona and Detroit. They lost 4 in a row, 2 to San Francisco, 2 to St. Louis at the end of April. They lost 3 in a row to Chicago teams, 1 against the White Sox, 2 against the Cubs to begin the month of May.
So 3 in a row against the same team, very seldom.
Yes.
And
then you're going to see a streak there where there's not going to be very
1
many.
to Houston, 2 to Tampa Bay. This is all first half still, man. That's it for the first half.
It seems like
since May, I don't know that it's happened.
Correct. So they're a type of team that should be able to deal with this.
Oh, Cubs.
They lost that in that 4-game stretch, right?
The 5-game stretch.
Yeah.
They lost both of the doubleheader on Wednesday. And that was the last time.
I do love what Pat Murphy said in his post-game press conference. He said he thinks that this is good for this team going forward. He has the full confidence that they're going to take Game 5, and he thinks that this test of playing in a tough road environment is only going to make them stronger, to his belief, throughout the NLCS and the World Series. So, do I agree with a lot of the pitching decisions he's made? I don't. But if there's any team that can do it with their backs, I don't even want to say if their backs are against the wall, because I think that's where they're the most comfortable at this point in the year. It's them.
All right. I got it out.
You got your little poopy pants off?
Yeah. I don't want to reflect too much because, as I said,
the thing is, yesterday's game, there's not much to reflect on.
the 3 hits isn't good enough. That's my reflection.
Well, right. And Freddie Peralta misses 1 pitch, and that's the biggest difference maker of the game.
And
It wasn't even a bad pitch. It was. He said after the game that's where he wanted that pitch, and Happ just went and got it.
Interestingly enough, William Contreras said it could have been better.
Yeah,
I thought that was
that.
interesting.
little mixed messaging from the pitcher and the catcher.
It wasn't a bad pitch. It was just probably could have been in a spot where you don't typically see.
All right, hold on. I can't let this comment slide from Brett Auclair. Who, Brett, we love you, man. You're always watching. You're always chiming, and we appreciate you. This one, he's being serious.
Uh-oh.
Brett says, Joshy, if you watch that game until the end and we're up for your show, that's why you are the executive producer and a terrific role model for Will.
I did not stay up until the end.
No. I don't know how you could have.
No. I was trying to. And had it been a Game 5, 100% I'm watching every single pitch. I accidentally fell asleep somewhere in the 4 or 5 area, woke up, and it was the middle of the 9th, and I said, well, there's really no.
Yeah, they missed the few opportunities they had.
Yeah.
I think it was the top of the 5th inning when they had 2 runners on, no outs. Yelich is up to bat.
Mm-hmm.
Or excuse me, I guess they had no outs. They bunted Joey, got the first out, advanced the runners to 2nd and 3rd. Then Yelich was up leading off. That first pitch was not a strike, and it was called a strike. It changed the entire trajectory of that at bat and ultimately the inning. And they're unable to capitalize on it. But didn't have a ton of base runners. Offensively, it was just a night.
Yeah, I'm more worried about what's going to happen with the pitching staff than I am about the offense. I don't think we should make a mountain out of a molehill of a couple guys not having particularly like a 2 good game stretch. To me, that's insignificant. It's not what baseball is. It can certainly continue, and Bryce Trang might not look particularly good again tomorrow. But Christian Yelich might have a 2-home run game. Sal Frelick might have an incredible game. You name the person. Contreras could look like,
I guess,
the biggest, like, everything can change in one single game.
I am a little confused, and you guys might be able to explain this better than my brain, which is clearly all over the place today, might be able to. Why did Murphy mess with the batting order as much as he did after the first 2 games? Because the first 2 games is the same order, effectively. Obviously, Game 3, you play a couple different guys than you did in the first 2 games. But then yesterday, Churrio's not leading off. I don't know why that is. Turang batting 3rd the last 2 games. I don't really get that. I'm fine with him batting 2nd. I'm fine with him batting 5th. I don't really understand him in 3 or 4. Why is Murphy tweaking the lineup as much as he did after 2 convincing victories in the first 2 games? Is there an answer for that?
So I thought it was purely analytical, because you'll see teams do that depending on who's pitching, and especially with the in-division rival, you've seen them a bunch of times and have a lot of data for that. But once they went back to Boyd last night and the lineup was the same as it was before and wasn't as the first 2 games, I was very confused and don't know why. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I think there's a degree of 3-dimensional chess happening here of, we're not going to show you the exact same lineup. We're not going to allow you to be comfortable with which relievers you bring in which order. We want you to have to think outside the box and not try and run back.
But aren't we playing analytical chess then if they're playing Connect 4? Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. And what I mean by that, to make that a little bit more Englishy for you, is, are we overthinking it?
I think Pat Murphy has done a lot of overthinking in this series. But I also think he thinks that's the edge that's going to get them past the Cubs, because I think
And frankly, who am I to say it might?
Right, and I think he correctly believes that the Brewers and the Cubs are two very similarly matched teams who have seen each other a whole lot. He's shared the dugout with the guy on the other side, so there's a lot of similar thinking, and he's trying to create as many edges as humanly possible. Not all of them are going to work. I would say the Jake Bauers thing worked.
Sure.
Until that last at bat, which wasn't a great at bat, but hey, the guy had drove in a run and then hit a home run.
You could even argue the Ashby thing worked.
Yes.
Putting in Miz after.
Yes.
I think it's just a lot of gambles. It just feels like, and I think if he played it safe, it might have turned out differently. Obviously, it's tough to say, and I can't predict it or tell the future, but
I don't spend a lot of time with the batting order. To me, it's who's in and who's out.
Sure.
I think the Lockridge thing was a massive get way too cute. That guy's a fringe MLB player. Blake Perkins is a switch hitter. Like, what are we doing here?
Isaac Collins.
Right.
We haven't seen him at all.
He pitch hit game 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I think he struck out game 2.
Yep. But I think that's it.
Yeah.
Which, again, I know he kind of got cold at the end of the year, but that's a guy who's delivered it. I mean, I was making the case in July or August that I think he might be your most clutch player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when matchups play such a big factor in the playoffs, to have a switch hitter too, can do it from both sides.
No. Yeah, I'm curious to see what tomorrow brings, but it's going to be an interesting one. I'm excited for it. Obviously, the home team has won all 4 games in this series, so if you need a piece of information to make you feel a little bit better, that'll make you feel a little bit better. Home team has won all 4 games.
No team has won 3 games in a row yet in this series.
That's a good point by you.
In a row.
Yep.
Good point by you. It sounds like it's going to be Shohei Managa for the Cubs.
Also, the team that wins Game 5 goes on to the NLCS 100% of the time.
Very true.
People forget that.
So actually, you know what we need to do? You've actually just unlocked something in my brain. I've got it figured out. Wipe the first 4 games from the record. They don't matter. What matters is tomorrow. What matters is Saturday. I don't care about Game 1 and 2 winning. I don't care about Game 3 and 4 losing. They don't matter. The only thing that matters is tomorrow.
It's the first time we're coming to this realization.
Wipe them all for the record.
It's like the biggest cliche when the other team ties it up. New ball game.
This series is 0-0. Winner take all. 1 game. Give me your best shot, Cubbies.